Boom, baby. We are live and welcome back to my good mate here on my right. Welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show featuring me and the crypto god himself, Charlie from cultivatecrypto.com. We're going to talk to you about our shortcomings. Operation Ethereum 2X failed. What went wrong? You figured us out, bros. We're completely we're just like BitBoy. We're full of shit and we're frauds. I'm joined today by my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Minnesota's mightiest, Charlie from cultivatecrypto.com. Charlie, welcome back, man. I've made a series of bad decisions since you've been gone.
Yeah, how long has it been since we've been done this show? I think like a month now.
Too long,
Yeah.
my man. It's been really long.
Well, and Bitcoin and Ethereum are basically at the same place they were the last time at the beginning of March, which is interesting.
Yeah, and you were gone, and I went out and I spent my money on some worthless shit that has caused me to have basically a loss on my investment. You want to see what I bought? It's like a real piece of garbage.
Of course.
Take a look at this. These are 2 blocks of 24 karat gold.
Oof.
These
Gonna
things
burn a hole in your pocket.
these things have done jack shit for me. The 24 karat gold bought here in Japan from the Tanaka Gold Company, Tanaka Ginza Gold Company. And I'm
just gonna melt right through your pocket into the ground,
I've
all the way to zero.
I've lost some money on this already. I put I put a 280,000 Japanese yen on it. So that's like what, like 2,400 bucks. I'm down, Charlie. This is what happens when you leave me. I go out and I do stupid shit like this.
Yeah, well, just don't put it on a chain and then wear it outside.
Oh God. All the way to zero. Here we go. But yeah, man, welcome back. I mean, you were gone because you had to go do the crypto mindset course. 942 members had signed up. Unbelievable results. And I mean, dude, with crypto at this point, I'm looking at the market. Anything's possible at this point. Have you been watching Filecoin? That shitcoin has been pumping.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I know who's behind the manipulation on that coin. So
are they from a place that rhymes with mina?
No, actually. Well, I mean, part of it, yes. Actually, there's a portion of infrastructure sold from there, yes. To other regions trying to find ways to mine this thing with very little success.
Oh God.
But the people who are pumping it are related out in New York, actually.
I'm just watching that. We talk about scam pumps, right? With ADA joking around, but I mean, talk about a legitimately real scam pump. Good
yeah,
Lord.
I mean, at least Cardano has a lot more factors going for it, right? So yeah, it is what it is.
Well, so listen, let's do a quick recap here on what Operation Ethereum 2X was. Do you want to tell them, or I'll do a little?
No, start with the story of the Rolex portion of it, and then once we get to we'll just kind of go chronological, and then just to remind everybody.
Okay, so basically, as you guys know, I sold my Rolex. The Rolex no longer my possession. I do feel absolutely butt naked without my Rolex. It's it's a weird feeling, to be honest. I really miss my Rolex. And what really twists the dagger is the fact that I sold it and then I lost money on top of the investment. Now ultimately, I know that this was an investment that is like irrefutably going to pay off. There's like no, I don't really, I'm faking that I'm like concerned, to be honest with you. Dramatic cause, but really, we really got nothing to worry about. So we sold my Rolex. We got about 16,000 US dollars for it. And then what ended up happening was after we sold it, we bought, how much Ethereum did we get?
We got 911, so 9.11.
9.11 Ethereum. And then the plan was to double the fiat value of the Ethereum by the end of March. However, we have failed, and we were not able to do that. And currently, the 9.11 Ethereum is now, what's it at right now, Charlie?
It's at 8.069.
Okay, so now we're at 8.069. So roughly a 1.05 loss in Ethereum. Basically lost 1 Ethereum in the month of March.
Correct. And I know other people who've lost 1 Ethereum in March, but usually due to buying too many NFTs.
They probably lost them to Timothy, but that's okay.
There you go. There you go.
So Charlie, let's discuss real quick what went wrong and just why did we fail? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it was one simple thing. And I mean, it's only, I guess it's 2 things. Do you want me to share my screen? I can show on the chart.
Absolutely, please do. Let's give the audience what they want. I'll say what's up to the audience in the meantime. What's up? A savage commentary. What's up? But he says big oof. Absolutely. Hey, we're man enough to admit that we're wrong. We're not going to sit here and act like we're just some all-knowing perfect guys. We're just 2 ordinary guys, and happen to be pretty educated on cryptocurrency. And yeah, Charlie's got the chart right here. Charlie, take it away, man.
Awesome. Pretty simple. So it was around here, February 20th, I believe was the day that we went out and we got the money from the Rolex, essentially, right? And so what we ended up doing was, well, the first
donate $100 right now.
Sorry,
you're a beta male.
Oh, good, I can hear that. Yeah,
blue pill for life.
I was like, it's really loud. I was like, damn.
Right now.
Let me mute that real quick because someone just sent a donation. Go ahead.
It's all good. I was just like, damn, my earbuds.
Sorry.
but yeah, no, essentially we got it on this day when Ethereum was attempting to break 2K for the first time. Now, during this time, right, things looked bullish overall for Bitcoin. So here was February 20th, right? If we go over here to February 20th on Bitcoin, basically Bitcoin was coming up to a decision point here in the middle of its cycle. So what ended up happening with Bitcoin was that it went up into its cycle high, but one day before the midpoint of the cycle, did a fake out to the downside and then recovered and made a new high. So essentially, the part of the chart that we were seeing, which was preceded by a downtrend, was this up move here, essentially. So basically the theory or the idea behind this is with the cycle, with the Bitcoin 60-day cycle, once you make a new high past day 30, then generally you'll continue up to a new high past day 45. Now we did get a new high past day 49, but we got this fake out to the downside just at the day 30 mark. So that right there affected Ethereum in an interesting way. So that was around this time here. So we were basically like, okay, let's front run this move a little bit. If Bitcoin can basically break above this move here, right, then it can go much higher until this point in time. So we took a long position here. We cut it short, or we cut it here. So essentially, we lost about like a couple $100 move. And that couple $100 move was on, if you had like a 3x leverage, basically cost, a couple $1,000, one Ethereum at the time. One Ethereum at the time was $1,900. So $1,900 loss essentially. And then the thing is like, if you didn't cut that loss, right, the price went down massively further. So then you would have either had one of 2 things: A, significantly more losses if you would have cut it down here, or B, basically, you would have had your position liquidated. So there's basically it could have been a much worse situation. So in that case, you cut your loss, you've lived to fight another day. Then we have the up move here. And the interesting thing about Ethereum's up move was Bitcoin made new highs, but Ethereum did not. So essentially, since that time, Ethereum hasn't really done much of anything. So we haven't taken another position. We're just holding that Ethereum and yeah, waiting for Ethereum's next major move. Once Ethereum breaks above 2,000, we'll be in a position with that Ethereum. And so we basically take a second stab at it. So right now, for, let's see here, since about February 28th until now, yeah, there's this one up move with Ethereum we could have played, but besides that, there's not really many opportunities. So we'll wait for the next major opportunity. And the interesting thing here on Ethereum, if we pull back to the 1 week, is we're getting close to potentially having that next big up move. So if we look at Ethereum's previous all-time high, which was here at about 1,500, we broke that area here, right? Quite a while back. We tested to the downside once, and we have this little uptrend above there. So we have two areas of support right now. We have above the previous all-time high, and then we have above this trend line here, essentially. On the daily chart, you can see it a little bit better, but on the weekly chart, this is the best we got. But anyways, if we look for above 1850, essentially, we're going to get the next big move once Ethereum has a weekly close above that area. So we'll see probably in the next 2 weeks. We basically either have this week or next week once we close above that area. And then Ethereum's going to break past $2,000 for the first time and close above there a few times. So we'll be in position by that time. And then Ethereum 2x will be back on track. But in terms of the timing, right, we intended for the timing to be within a month. So just basically it's going to take longer.
So, okay, now we're looking at this here, and what are you thinking?
So Bitcoin's going to make a huge, well, not a huge, it's going to make a big move here. Basically from now, the Bitcoin cycle low has already been in. That cycle low was in on March 25th. Right. Now Bitcoin has to break past $61,000, $62,000. Once it does that, then Ethereum starts to move up and retest that $2,000 mark.
Go ahead.
But on top of that, so there's a bunch of different things happening with Ethereum as well as just the overall economy, which will give Bitcoin and Ethereum a bit of a pump here for the different portions of the year. But one of those is Uniswap version 3 is coming out. So Uniswap being the biggest decentralized exchange out there on Ethereum. And so they're doing improvements there to basically lower costs for the fees and then make it faster, essentially. So that exchange started in 2019 and it's already has more daily volume for trading than Coinbase.
Wow. So you're talking about Uniswap, right?
Right.
And that's, I was, first of all, I mean,
and Coinbase has been viewed as number one.
Yeah, I know. I just hate Coinbase so much.
Well, everybody hates it. That's why it's great to see. That's why it's great to see a decentralized exchange taking over. Because it's like, screw Brian Armstrong. We got this.
I almost hate Coinbase as much as I hate Chase Bank, and that is saying a lot right there.
Well, they're tied actually, slightly. JP Morgan works with Coinbase.
Yeah. So looking at what we have here in regards to the upcoming market, it seems like, March was kind of, unless you're scam pumping like Filecoin, or if you're holding
Kusama.
And I was about to say Kusama, but there's no scam pumping with Kusama. You were basically just practicing diamond hands for the month of March, and luckily you had that was the duration of the mindset course. So you really timed it quite well, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it's good areas for people getting into the course, right? So 1 month before each quarter, there tends to be a good move towards the initial part of each quarter. And if you're lucky enough to get a dip prior to that, which we got, then that gives everybody enough time to basically get some entry points. And then once the quarter begins, boom, you make some gains.
I'm really enjoying it. I think that, like I said, ultimately, let's just say this. I know that we really don't have much to worry about in regards to this Operation Ethereum 2x, but we have two missions being ran at the same time here. But I think honestly, uh, Ethereum 2x will be probably fulfilled. I would say I'm feeling like, well, we'll see what happens. I'm not trying to. I mean, I personally,
I know where you're going. I think you're. I agree with you though.
oh, I like it when you say that. I'm thinking May is the month.
Yeah, May is going to be good for everything across the board. Essentially, January is kind of like a 50-50 toss-up whether the market is green or red on that month, right? Just historically speaking. March, February is usually pretty good. March is actually usually sideways or down, which we got basically this March. And then May, June, July, especially May and June, usually are very solid months for crypto. So May would not be a bad month to expect for pretty good gains.
Now, I'm not trying to like go full conspiracy theory yet, okay? But I think that if we see Ethereum break $3,000 in May, again, it's seriously. I mean, this is. I don't think there's any technical backing to this, but I'll just say, like, from strictly fundamental place, it seems to me that if Ethereum does hit $3,000 in May, it's going to be eerily creepy and eerily similar to Bitcoin in 2017. I mean, the gas fees are the same as the mempool being jammed up.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about that is we were complaining about what $20-$40 fees on Bitcoin back in 2017. These guys are complaining about multi-$100 fees on Ethereum, which is really, really interesting how out of hand it's gotten for Ethereum comparatively to where Bitcoin was in 2017.
Yeah. So, we're going to see what happens. But what does need to happen right now for you guys watching on my channel, looks like I only have 47 likes, and on Charlie's channel, he only has 52 likes. We need at least 100 likes on each of our channels. So please smash that like button to help us both in the algorithm, because YouTube is catered towards people who just like put like 20-minute, 10-minute little videos. And when you live stream long like this, like, you need to aggressively have audience members clicking like in order to boost us both up in the algorithm, so we get some preferential treatment and we could get this message out to people who desperately need it. Put a 1 in the chat if you know somebody right now who desperately needs Bitcoin education in their life and certainly doesn't have it. Guys, thank you so much, because we really appreciate you all for being here. Shout out to my super chats. Blockchain Mac Canada, $2, $2 is still bullish on ETH. I am as well. And then Digital Symmetry with the Ron 25. Hey guys, what's your opinion on Safe Moon crypto? Oh God.
Well, it's Binance's way to mint more coins off of your back.
Good old CZ. We met him. He was just a humble man when we met him. Now he is scamming across Thorchain. He's scamming across SafeMoon. He bought Coin Market Cap. I mean, this guy is drunk on power. Good Lord.
Yeah, there's this thing called the black hole address on SafeMoon coin. And it basically what they say is, oh, we burn the tokens and then we put them in the black hole address and nobody has access to that address. So they're essentially gone. And it's like, well, then why don't you just actually burn them and actually destroy them, right? Which is what Binance coin does, but this one doesn't. And so it's like, what are they going to do with those funds in the background? Only God knows. But you're supposed to trust them that they don't do anything with it. So yeah, that one, I don't know. It's just not good.
Tess Rockwell in house says CZ is asshole. Yes, he is.
Hey man, he knows how to make money. I respect it.
Hey, I mean, I can't knock the hustle. He is he's a China guy.
Going after the top of the Citadel, man. Going after that top of that Citadel.
He's coming for Elon's slot as richest man in the world. I know he is. So Charlie, it's really good to have you back. Obviously I'm pretty good at monitoring the sentiment, the feel of what's going on the internet. Yep. And let's just talk about this right now real quick. And I was talking about this yesterday on the show. We did my 400th episode of Interview with the Man yesterday, and oh, we got another dono. Sorry, it's playing in my head. But basically, what I noticed is that yesterday Bitcoin hit $59,000. Didn't start trending. Nothing. No viral pop. Nothing. Like Bitcoin is like right at the precipice of smashing its all-time high again, and nobody gives a shit. Like, I mean, people have just gotten used to, it's like if you like, back when we were young, like 10, we like you saw like a Playboy magazine, you're like, oh my god, boobs, did you see that? Like now, like, oh yeah, like a fucking 9-year-old has an iPhone and he like looking at porn, and they're desensitized to it at an extremely alarming rate. I think that's how people are desensitized towards Bitcoin right now. Like they're just like, oh yeah, whatever, Bitcoin's like super high. What do you think about that?
Yeah, people just get used to it. It was funny. It was like $9,000 Bitcoin for the longest time was very, was kind of considered high, right? Because Bitcoin was down below 6,000 for quite a long time in the last bear market, right? So once we got back above 9,000 again, we're like, yay. And, they have the Vegeta meme every time that Bitcoin goes above 9,000, it's above 9,000 again. But then it went above and below $9,000 so many times that eventually the last time that it went above 9,000 before, it went off and never touched that area again, people were like, yeah, we're used to this price. Right. So it's just, we're in such like an instant society. It's kind of funny how quickly people get accustomed or used to the new situation. And with the United States in particular, regarding the money printing and everything, it's kind of like putting a frog in boiling water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I just saw somebody. I just saw somebody's changed their tune real quick. Do you remember this guy?
Oh God, yeah. I love it.
Oh my God, this guy.
I forget exactly what the bet was that he had bet us on. Like, what was it, like a year or two ago? I can't remember.
Telling us that this worthless piece of trash is something to invest in. Trust me, yep. I tried. This is 24 karat gold, and it is fucking worth garbage.
I forget which price it was. There was some price that he said Bitcoin will never go above again, and I think it was like $15,000 or something like that.
It's okay. He needs to change his name to I Am Incorrect. Joey Crack 499 super chat says, "Hey MLD, I found you on Fresh and Fit channel. Shout out to Myron Gaines. I love your content. It's boosting me to further maximize my value. Thanks for helping men. Salute, brother." And yes, if you guys are watching on my channel and you're not watching this guy right here, Charlie, try to fix my finger. There we go. Charlie over here. He is a guy who will put money in your bank account, your crypto wallet, whatever it is. This guy, I believed in him from day one, and I knew that this guy could bring a lot of value to the table. Look, I'm in the men's corner of the internet and men's self-improvement, and it's one thing to help guys out with their money muscles game, but more importantly, what Charlie is doing is after guys figure out, take the red pill, whatever they're doing, Charlie makes them rich. And so it's important to be part of this community, because we're going to talk about what's going on right now. Charlie has something he sent to me in regards to our buddies at the St. Louis Federal Reserve. And, you want to talk about that? You want to see why everybody needs to get involved in cryptocurrency?
Yeah. I guess we'll start there, and then we'll go into where crypto's going after that, because I think that'll put definitely a very good what do you call it? I don't know, point on it. So you want to pull it up on your end, or you want me to pull it up on my end?
Okay, look at this guy. Oh no, never mind. Okay, yeah, pull it up on your end.
Oh, you want to talk about that guy real quick?
No. He needs to come clean about him being wrong, but go ahead.
Oh, great. Let's see here. There we go. So basically, we're looking at the M2 money supply, right? So this is the M1 money supply is basically like cash deposits, savings, and stuff like that. M2 money supply is cash, savings, stocks, commodities, all sorts of different, basically most money. And this is basically just showing here the printing of money over time, right? And interesting, right around spring of 2020, February of 2020, we start seeing this massive uptick in the trillions and trillions of dollars being printed. So this just, kind of watching, what's normal for the money printing over time. Also, obviously, here right after 2009, we had another pretty solid uptick in terms of how fast this is growing. So you could just kind of see the gradient, I guess, of this line, right? Just kind of increasing ever so slightly here. But I mean, it's gotten ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. And the amount of trillions of dollars that they're spending now. So basically, this is in units of $1 billion. So if you go back here, right, you can go, okay, when it's at 1,000 billion, right, that's finally 1 trillion. All right, so that was December 1975. But you go from just 2020 last year, right, up to now, and you go from basically 15 trillion all the way to $19.5 trillion. So plenty of money being printed. Obviously, I'm sure you've talked about this plenty of times. Biden's official, administration can officially put the $3 million package out there, all that bullshit, right?
Wait a minute. This is the one. So just so you guys know, because I know it's hard to keep up with all the money printing. There was just a stimulus passed for 1.9 trillion US dollars. And don't let these scammers in the government trick you to think all 1.9 trillion of that is going directly to the houses and the people in American economy.
It all goes to the banks first.
Yeah, it goes to the banks first, and the majority of that money, literally, the majority of that money is not given to struggling Americans. And now there is another $3 trillion economic plan that they're putting out. This is set to be released in April, correct?
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, they keep always change dates and stuff like that, so I think it's yet to be determined. But yeah, it's going to come out sooner rather than later, essentially. And I mean, here's the thing: is like. I forget one of the memes or whatever where that guy's playing on the bongos, right? Yeah. It's like the money printing was already going insane with the the last administration in office, and this next administration just turns on the speed, essentially with the Democrats think a lot of them support modern monetary theory, which is just saying printing more money is good, which even Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger basically have said, right, that we do not know what the effects of this much money printing will do because we've never done it. And so it's like, anytime that you go and you start doing things, you're basically playing with potentially breaking the camel's back, right? And so anyways, it's not good overall. It's not going to help things. It's going to hurt future generations. But what we can do about it, right, is we can buy Bitcoin and we can have a hedge against that inflation. And then also here's a good article if anybody wants to read why inflation is good, as they like to tell us.
Look at this fucking boomer.
What a joke, man. You should just put a clown nose on him and a wig. Just look at this guy is one of the biggest jokes when it comes to economists worldwide. But Mr. Paul Krugman basically says, okay, this is how to not panic about inflation. Just remember the last time we were scared about it and nothing bad happened, right? And you go all the way down, and his basic thesis is just down here, which basically says the question is whether these price increases, because he's talking about with inflation, you get price increases for different goods and stuff like that, he says. So the question is whether these prices increases are a 2010-11 type blip or something more dangerous. Smart observers will look past the headlines to measure the underlying value of inflation, which is much higher than they usually tell you, right? And then not just the Fed's standard core measure, but things like the Atlanta Fed Sticky Price Index as well. So trying to take as much of the data into account as you can. Anecdotal evidence, otherwise known as talking to people, will be important. Talking to people and just kind of seeing what's happening. are businesses actually starting to set prices and wages based on the expectation of high future inflation? So essentially, if there's more inflation and we're earning less, are companies going to increase their prices? And once we start seeing that, right, then your dollar that you get paid at work goes less far, and essentially you become poorer, right? That's the idea. And but he's saying if those guys don't set higher prices and they don't kind of adjust to inflation, then don't worry. So he's basically saying if businesses are stupid and they don't adjust to inflation, then your dollar will go just as far now as it has before. And so inflation's okay.
What a disingenuous piece of shit. Like,
it's hilarious.
Joey Crack with the $4.99 donation. Thank you so much. He says, "Make me rich, bro." We will. Make sure you subscribe to Charlie.
Well, and here's the thing with that, right? We're in the best opportunity right now to make ourselves rich, right? So we can either try to trust and depend us upon our governments, which clearly they're not doing anything in our best interest, or
clearly these people haven't studied history. But go ahead.
Yeah, or they have and they don't care because it doesn't affect them as much as it affects everybody else. And then the other side of the coin is, though, you have basically a way to opt out, which is buy Bitcoin and understand the cryptocurrency market. Use that as a life skill to make yourself independent financially, essentially. Yeah. And we have guys that are doing that in the crypto mindset course. We have guys who, for the first time, have more than $10,000 in their savings accounts. We also have other guys who, they made enough money in a quarter to buy a new house, through the course. So lots of different, types of people in the course, but everybody finding ways to make extra money during the time when pretty much everybody else is complaining about how much they don't have.
Yeah. No. I mean,
you gotta take the bull by the horns, right, and do it ourselves.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, with what's happening in the world, I think the only economy that has printed as much money as us right now is the Chinese economy. I think over the last 10 years, the Chinese economy has printed $30 trillion in Chinese yuan. But, a lot of people don't know this. Did you know this about the Chinese economy? It's easy to put money into the Chinese economy, but to get the money out, that's why our Chinese buddy who's running the Bitcoin exporting service is making a fucking killing, because a lot of Chinese are trying to get their wealth out of China because the government is coming to literally seize that shit.
Yep. Yeah, they want to keep the yuan as within as much of their control as possible within the country. And it's interesting because Tether, right, the stable coin in the crypto space, has actually been used to funnel money between Russia and China.
T-Long Toe 199 super chat says, "Here you go, MLD. This is worth less than gold." Well, you actually said that to Charlie, but that's okay. Appreciate you. But yeah, I think that ultimately, just looking at this money printing thing,
it's going to be a positive boon for Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency space the rest of this year. I mean, there's going to be
as soon as that money hit the bank account, Bitcoin skyrocketed. Do you notice that? Like the moment the banks had the money, like Bitcoin went through the fucking moon.
Yep. Once the money gets out there a little bit, people look for ways to, kind of lock it up, and Bitcoin's more popular than gold right now, right? Like Turkey is in a financial crisis as well. They're in a currency crisis, and all their young people are ignoring gold, going straight to Bitcoin, because people just want a way to make money, and they see the opportunity to make money there. It's as clear as day, and when people need it, that's what they're going to go to.
In 2018, that's when I quit our corporate job, and I started working at Sesame Street teaching English. And there was this 10-year-old kid that was in my class, and I remember I was asking him in English because he was a really smart kid, and I was like testing him. And I was trying to be a smart ass. And I was like, all right, little Tanaka-san, tell me this. What's more valuable, 1 kilogram of gold or 1 Bitcoin? He was like, 1 Bitcoin. I was like, shit. When you have a 10-year-old kid that is in Japan and he is knowing that 1 Bitcoin is more valuable than 1 kilogram of gold, something is here to stay. And again, like this just shows, like, I mean, kids, Bitcoin is part of a global vernacular now. If if it was like 5-10 years ago, or excuse me, let's just say 5 years ago for simplicity's sake. If you ask somebody, oh, you know what Bitcoin is? They'd be like, what do you fucking want me to come to Jesus? Like, what the hell is this shit? But now if you ask somebody what Bitcoin is, they're like, oh yeah, we know Bitcoin is. It's a cryptocurrency. It's used to buy drugs on the internet. Like, it's
Yeah, you got to get known somehow, right?
it's coming slowly, right? But ultimately, I think that with what's happening right now, I think it's like what I'm about to say is going to sound pretty fucking evil, but at the end of the day, look, this money printing is making everybody around you poor, but if you have crypto, it's making you rich, and it's just an uncomfortable, a harsh reality, really, very, very harsh reality.
I think it's going to just get more and more extreme on either ends, right? So it's like you can choose to opt in to something that is opting out of the traditional system and find a way to make yourself at least have a nest egg, right? It doesn't have to necessarily make you financially independent, but at least semi-independent, right? Mm-hmm. Start at that goal first, and then move, to financial independence. Take it one step at a time.
Let's catch up.
Stay in the current system.
Yeah, let's catch up with some super chats real quick. Joey Crack 499 super chat says, I currently have Coinbase Pro. Sorry for your loss. Is there a much better alternative, Charlie?
Yeah, so if you're using Coinbase Pro, it's like, what are you using it for? Are you using it for trading or just buying Bitcoin? If you're using it just to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're fine, right? Because you can use that Bitcoin and Ethereum to go to another exchange and buy the other cryptocurrencies that you're looking for. Right. I would say just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum on Coinbase. Don't trade on Coinbase Pro. At least that's my personal opinion. And then if you want, a better alternative, Kraken is the better KYC'd alternative. Binance or KuCoin are better non-KYC'd alternative if that floats your boat. Yeah, but use it still for just, your on and off ramp, essentially, your money coming in, coming out from your bank, because it's good for that.
Peter Crozen, sorry, buddy, I probably pronounced that wrong. With the €5, he says, this is a super chat to Charlie. He says, I attended the Q2 webinars. This was the most valuable course I attended in a long time. Thanks, Charlie, Miguel, and MLD for setting me on fire. You're welcome, dude. I mean, you showed up to the webinars, you did the work. I mean, that's all it is. It's just, you just got to show up. I mean, I'm not going to talk about conversion rates, but it's a lot of people signed up and didn't even come to the fucking webinars. So I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's usually a good group of people who they just, they buy and then they watch later. But it's like, okay, how much do they really go and they watch later, or how much do they actually take on, right? But the people who do the work, right, they get a 2 to 3x in their money. So I think there's a pretty good incentive to go in there and make sure that you watch all the recordings.
We have a question here that I thought was, I guess this guy must be new. Murderman Gonzalez says fiat is USD, right? So fiat is all money issued by any government on the planet, because I'm pretty sure all money in the world is fiat, right? Nothing's backed by gold right now.
Yeah, exactly. All cash equivalent is just dirty cash with nothing tied to nothing of value, essentially.
Joey Crack says, I'm just buying and holding. Honestly, that it's not, this is not, what I'm about to say is not sexy, but that's how a lot of money is made, just buying and holding. I was watching,
have to know when to save your ass before the big bear market, right? So
before the rug pull,
the big bad bear market. Yeah.
I've been watching some investment stuff on my own as well, and ultimately this holds true across the board. Time in the market is more important than timing the market. Ideally, you want to do both, but time in the market, buying and holding, is far more lucrative and safer than just timing the market, because as you can see, you know, Charlie and I are going to come clean. Like we lost one Ethereum this most recent month because we were trying to time the market. However, you're going to see now that ultimately we will prevail because we are in the market. And we're going to look at March. We're in March, right? I mean, I think tomorrow's going to be April. So we're going to be last day in March. And come December, when we are looking back on this episode, if we're not like on a fucking yacht with a million models by then, where we will lose all our crypto again. I mean, we're going to just look back and laugh and be like, God, you know, Charlie, don't you remember when Ethereum was like $1,800? Boy, oh boy, I wish I bought some. And I've come up with a new term, Charlie. I've come up with a new situation here.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I've always said every man should strive to own one Bitcoin. I have changed that now because it's, you know, it's quite frankly, it's still a good goal, but ultimately, if money is your like main goal, I think every man should own at least 10 Ethereum. I think that's a worthy goal. A long-term moon bag. A moon bag is something that's going to become very valuable in the future. So if you can't get yourself one Bitcoin, get your hands on 10 Ethereum. Charlie, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I say it's the exact right thing to say, that basically it's a similar opportunity to when, you know, we could buy one Bitcoin under $10,000, right? There's going to be a portion of this bull market where one Ethereum will be probably the most that people can do. But then we'll come back to a time where trying to get that 10 Ethereum will be possible again, right? So you're going to have this interesting kind of flux in the market where 10 Ethereum, yeah, it's very possible to get it right now. By the end of this year, it won't be very easy for most people. And then it might become, you know, somewhat viable again in the bear market. But yeah, if you just grab that advice right now, you're going to do well at the end of this year. That's for damn sure.
Never in my life, Charlie, have I ever wanted December to come so fast.
Yeah,
seriously.
It's interesting. It's like the bull market, it's fun to enjoy along the way. And then when you get to the end, it's like, damn it, bear market has to come at some point. That's true. So, you know, you got to go take some vacations and, you know, it's all good.
Charlie, to be honest with you, within recent memory, 2018 was the worst fucking year of my life.
Yeah. I remember you were saying for multiple reasons. I remember.
Oh God, what a fucking shitty ass year. You got like the worst hangover. The worst hangover in the world is followed by the best drug in the world. The best drug in the world is the cryptocurrency bull market. The worst hangover in the world is the cryptocurrency bear market, and it lasts about 3 to 4 years. It's
yeah, especially if you don't play it right. I mean, it feels like it lasts 3 to 4 years. It really only lasted about, I would say, well, not even one calendar year, about 11 to 12 months. And then it took a few months to get started back up again. But yeah, you usually it'll be about a year where people will be like, man, Bitcoin is boring. But you know, most of the people complaining are going to be the people buying at the top. The people who got in before $60,000 Bitcoin are generally going to be fine.
Yep. Let's catch up with our super chats. Tim Satov says $5 donation. Thank you so much. He says, should I keep purchasing crypto like Ethereum, or at this point look for other coins with potential like you mentioned? So I'll comment and then Charlie can handle that. If you do not have direct guidance from Charlie, Miguel, or myself, buy Ethereum, forget it even exists, and come back in December. If you're an educated trader and you know what's going on in the market, and like, I mean, educated, really educated, not like I think Dogecoin is a good investment, educated. Okay, then you do what you got to do. Charlie, what would you say?
Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. Just buy Ethereum. That's the easy thing. And then, yeah, there's going to be plenty of other coins with potential as well. I would say, you know, one that's going to outpace Ethereum that's really easy to purchase, both Ethereum and Bitcoin is going to do better than, is Polkadot, right? We've been talking about that for quite a long time. For those people right now who are looking for one other thing to add to their portfolio, Polkadot's probably the biggest no-brainer right now.
Real quick, I'm going to shout out this guy. No super chat, but Commando 1529 says 3x KSM, which is Kusama, thanks to Cultivate Crypto, Dollar Cost Crypto, Voice My Ambition, our man, Baby Jacob, and of course, MLD, therefore already made course money back. So the money which he purchased the course with, which is only $697, already made the money back and some. And that's like a soft guarantee. Like, obviously nothing's guaranteed with Charlie and the course, because legally we can't fucking say that. But read this man's comment, and I'm pretty sure there's more than 15 to 20 guys in the chat who can say the exact same thing. If the same happened to you guys, just put the word same in the chat. Marcelo MJ499 super chat says, "Thank you, Charlie. Thanks to your course, I'm already making money." I wasn't even.
Yep.
That's good to know right there. And then I think we have two more super chats. Karn, $5 super chat says, "You guys have any info or thoughts on SEC and library? Looks like they're trying to make crypto a security or something."
Yeah, with SEC, I haven't heard of that one yet, or at least I don't think I have. I have to look it up. Library, they've been doing okay, but it's not something I think to be investing in. I think it's useful to use, but I'm not going to be doing anything to invest in that. Looks like SEC is yearn secure already, getting into debauchery. Yeah, no, I mean, I think for most people, they should probably stay away from those two. There's better opportunities out there, but not saying they can't do well. Just I feel there's personally better opportunities out there.
Colonel Sanders, the 16th, $5 super chat says, "Funny thing, I can watch the stream on Charlie's channel, but you're infinitely loading. Thank you to Susan Wojcinski at YouTube, continually running a fantastic business." Let's take a look at all this. Same, can confirm, same. These are all guys that made their money back in the course in less than a month. Same. Look at the chat. I mean, just take a look at the chat if you're watching right now. If you're watching on replay, smash that like button. Thank you so much. Daniel says same. I mean, now obviously we have a bull market here, and what would you say in regards to the bull market? What percentage are we finished with the bull market right now, Charlie?
Seems like we're at least 50% of the way there. We're probably.
You think 50% of the way over?
Yeah. It depends on where you start counting it from, though. So, well, I mean, to be honest,
50?
no,
that's not right.
Yeah, if you count it, because I mean, basically what we're expecting is probably by the summer of next year, the bear market's over, or the bull market's over.
That's not well, okay. So where's your starting point? I'm thinking the start point was like, well, November.
There's two starting points. No, definitely. The starting point is definitely not November.
Okay.
I mean, look at the chart of Bitcoin, right? Excuse me. So the starting point would be, excuse me, God damn it. The starting point would be two places. Either you can consider the March of last year, right? Or you can consider it January, February of 2019. Those two would technically be the bottom of the last bear. Well, the bottom of the last bear market would be in January of 2019. But the last big downturn before the current up move was in March of 2020.
And that was the beer bug crash, yeah?
Right. So if you're counting from 2019, I would say we're 2/3 of the way through. If you're counting from March of last year, half. So I expect, there is some possibility for an extended Bitcoin bull run to go, somewhat into 2022, but, very like a remote possibility that it could go into late 2022, early 2023. But it seems
2022.
Yeah, remote possibility, right? Remote. Mm-hmm. So more than likely, we get a high in the bull market sometime between the end of this year and the summer of next year. So, we're, it's on the time where it's the most exciting to be in the crypto market, because the last third or the last half of the bull market is the most wild.
I do not want to be right about this, but I think I am, and I've been saying it, and I'm not trying to speak this shit into existence, but you're going to see motherfucking people jumping off of buildings because of crypto shit in the end of this bull market. Because what we saw in 27, guys, you have to realize this is a global thing. We were in Tokyo, Japan in 2017, and you could feel the Bitcoin mania in the streets. Like, I used to see super hot Japanese girls who look like their IQ is 75 with their phones out on the train, consistently checking their cryptocurrency accounts. And this is on multiple trains, multiple lines, multiple stations, multiple ages. I mean, I saw girls in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s. One of the biggest Bitcoin whales in Tokyo is a woman in her late 40s, and she's hugely bullish on ADA. And so, like, I could feel the momentum starting right now. Obviously, we have to deal with this whole global pandemic shit, but so you're thinking? I was thinking just on this calendar year, the market is basically going to end like, early January, the bull market. You're not agreeing with that?
Well, I mean, that's the traditional 4-year cycle theory, essentially,
Right.
right? That Bitcoin would top in December, and then in January, the alts would top, and then that's the beginning of the bear market, right? So that's, if we're following the 4-year cycle, then rinse and repeat from last time is where we're at, right? But I think markets tend to like to do things slightly different than each time, right? They do similar things, but then they do something as a little bit of a surprise, because if everything's the exact same, it's going to be the easiest play ever,
Right.
no problem. But the market doesn't tend to like to give us the exactly what we expect. So I do expect some in between moves between now and the top goal. When we're looking at Bitcoin between $150,000 and $250,000, right, within that goal, there's probably going to be some twists and turns. So that'll be interesting to watch.
Let's catch up on super chats because a bunch just flew in. Ricky, all the way from Canada, with the Canadian $5 super chat. He says, "Hey Charlie, any recommendations on another wallet similar to Celsius wallet? I like the security and passive income."
Well, I mean, Celsius wallet's going to give you the better of the group like that. There's another one that's new, which is called Ledn, LEDN, but it's made, basically it's backed by Coinbase. So if you want something similar to Celsius, but backed by Coinbase. Yep.
Coinbase, the Chase Bank of cryptocurrency exchanges.
Exactly.
Do you know Coinbase has a weekly purchase limit?
Yeah, they have all sorts of limits now, and it's interesting, right? They've limited how much Bitcoin you can move on and off of exchanges since 2017. Actually, because the dollar amount's got a lot higher, they've actually reduced the amount of Bitcoin you can move off exchanges.
Yep. I think a lot of people don't seem to realize that there is a massive liquidity problem at every single exchange on the planet. Every single exchange is having some serious trouble with keeping,
and banks as well. Banks, PayPal, all these different payment services. A lot of businesses have gone down, right? Which restricted some of the money flow.
Right. Armand Rio, $5 super chat. Just got back from vacation. Colombia is amazing. I've been to Cartagena. It's on my YouTube channel here. You can find the travel guide. Back on the course now. Charlie, check your WhatsApp messages. Moon gang, baby.
Yeah, he likes to send me pictures of his vacation.
Beautiful. What a nice guy. Karn again with the $5 super chat says, to clarify, SEC equals United States Security and Exchange Commission. They are targeting library. Thanks for helping us make money.
Oh, I thought he was mentioning it as a token. I gotcha.
Isn't library the blockchain based backup of YouTube?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can use it in that function, but it's essentially just a database, right? So it's a database that you can save videos on.
I mean, I think if the United States government is going after it, it's probably something good for you.
Yeah.
Real quick, speed round. Speed answer here, Charlie. Simple one. Polkadot, $200 end of year. Yes or no?
Easy. I would,
Joey,
especially by the end of the bull market, but definitely.
China like pump. Joey Crack 499 super chat. Unfortunately, I have a Chase account. Which U.S. bank should I go with? A credit union. They all suck. Wells Fargo sucks. Chase Bank sucks. They're all shit. They should all go to a happy place.
Bank with Celsius and Trezor.
Blaine Wales with the $5 super chat to Charlie. He says, if we wait until January to sell, we don't have to report taxes for this year. What do you think about VET and VGX?
Yeah, I mean, they're all right projects. They're going to grow in terms of dollars. VGX is probably going to grow better than VeChain. But if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Voyager. But to be honest, I don't own either.
Let's see. Marcus the third, a brother in the chat with us, says, "Welp, I'm an ape in the duck."
There we go.
We don't advise it, but hey,
I do.
hey man, ape away. I gotta get like a monkey sound effect to like for like when we, Edward Rivera says Polkadot only $200. I'm selling. Yeah, I mean we talked about Polkadot, and I went on vacation, didn't think it would moon so quickly because I was gonna put a nice little sum in there, and I would be a millionaire by now, but I didn't.
$200 is minimum for Polkadot. Like, I mean, come on, shoot for the stars, baby. There's plenty. I mean, Polkadot, I would say, if I'm going to give a more price prediction where I think it will hit, I would say $400 to $500, pretty easy for Polkadot to hit. There's possibility even upwards towards 1,000, but we'll see where the market goes. Anyways, it's going to do well, and it's going to outpace Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's all you really need to worry about, right? So don't look at the dollar value, look at it compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to outpace it, make some money.
Adam with the PLN 25 says Coinbase is recruiting AML specialists in Japan. Are they up to something? Let me just say something real quick before Charlie does.
Yeah.
It is very, very, very hard to crack the Japanese market.
Oh, yes.
They have got to have their P's and Q's. They've got if they cannot fuck this up personally.
Yeah. Well, I met the CEO of Coinbase Japan back when we were working in our recruiting company. Had a nice lunch at a 5-star restaurant in Tokyo.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was down by Tokyo Station.
Denny's?
In the Marunouchi area. No. that guy chose it. It was great. But basically, all those guys are related to the Ivy Leagues, right? So they hired their friends and stuff. But this guy was really interesting dude, Japanese dude who had gone to those universities. Smart man. So they have the right alliances here in Japan for Coinbase. So they're building up. There's only about 16 companies that have licenses to have exchanges in Japan, and they're one of them. Getting in Japan, especially at that level into this market, is extremely difficult. So I'm pretty sure they've already made their way. So they're not going to mess up by, messing up their regulations. So they're just making sure that they're on the dot, or they're on top of their game, and making sure they've, looked at all the information of their customers. So
yeah, ultimately, Japanese people love FX trading. Okay, this nation, there are a lot of degenerate gamblers in Japan, a lot. Okay, like I know you guys don't know what pachinko is, but look it up. Look up pachinko.
Pachinko Nicolas Cage commercials are the best.
Oh my god, dude! I walked into a pachinko parlor one time thinking it was just a regular arcade, and I was just like, "What fucking Twilight Zone have I stepped into?" The super chats are now flying in on your channel, Charlie. Black Magic 553 $10 super chat. At Trillions made a video saying sell will be $19 in June and $100 in December. What do you think? That sounds very lofty, Charlie.
Yeah, so not really all that lofty at all. If you look at the Celsius move from
pull the chart up, or
let me pull it up real quick here. This one's gonna take me a second to.
Guys, in the meantime, I mean, are you not so happy to have Charlie back here on the Tokyo Crypto Show? Charlie has really, really come to his own, and getting some huge respect for some big, big names around the globe. So make sure to smash that like button. Throw a Bitcoin emoji in the chat if you're over on my chat. And if you want a Bitcoin emoji, click on that link right there. You'll be able to put all the Bitcoin emojis in the chat as a salute to our man Charlie from Cultivate Crypto. Charlie, it's good to have you back, man. The show ain't the same without you.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, it's
You're the Bobby
It was
Boucher of
good-
this team.
good yeah. No. Mom will say it. No, I'm joking. Oh man, that movie's great. No, what I was gonna say on top of that is like it's fun watching you do your show where you're ranting on Chase,
Ugh.
or whatever. Because yeah, it's always good to have a nice rant about how bad the banks are.
Thanks for the $100 donation when during that. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, that money gets directly deposited into the Chase Bank, but it is what it is.
I knew it, but it was like, well, we got to go for it. So,
Oh, fucking Jamie Dimon laughing all the way to the bank. Buy houses, $4.99 super chat. Does Celsius app pay you interest every month or annually? I believe they have what, weekly, monthly, weekly, every week. Oh, Artemis had a question real quick. He says, everyone's still bullish on Aave and SNX. Charlie?
Yep. Very, very bullish.
Mark Cuban holds Aave. That's all I'm going to say. Here we go with the chart here for Celsius.
Yeah, so pretty easy. Last time it went sideways for quite a long time, like it's done recently, right? Recently, it's gone sideways for a grand total of about 84 days. The last time it did that was around here when it went for about 70 days. And so what's he talking about in terms of percent increases, right? What he's talking about was going to $19. So going to $19 from the current price of $4.69 is just a 4x in price. And he's saying by June, right? So June is within 3 months. So a 4x in price within 3 months. Let's see if that's possible. Did that happen the last time? So the last time we started taking off was at this price here of 34.35 cents. Right. And if we just go up into a, more than a 4x, essentially, we can go even further up to, 1,000% increase, 10x plus. But anyways, let's just go to, within 90 days here. The last time Celsius went up from the last time it went up from a major sideways move, right? It went up about 670% within that 90-day period. You could also put maybe one more week over there, but right, essentially that. So, a few 100% move within that time period is not difficult at all. If Celsius were to do the same move in 90 days that it did the last time it broke out of that type of pattern, right? So let's just say from the current price, and let's just say 643% increase. And then we say that happens over 90 days. Where would that take us? That would take us roughly, let's say, around $35 Celsius by the end of June, right? Now, I'm not saying that exact same move is going to happen. I don't think it will, but just saying, $20, comparatively is not that difficult. And we saw something similar with DOT, right? When DOT came up, it was around that $3, $4, $5 area. It was doing that for a very long time. And, it went up to $20, $30 quickly after that. So I'm looking at this pattern here, bringing Celsius to about $9 sometime soon. So that'd be a double in price relatively quick. And then Celsius should have continued growth potential essentially over the next few months. So looking good for Celsius.
Let me ask you something. What I'm trying to understand, because I see I'm just possibly misinformed on something, but what exactly causes the price of Celsius to go up?
They got to buy back their own tokens to pay interest to their customers. So essentially every Monday when they give their customers, different cryptocurrency as a reward for holding it on their platform, because they loan the cryptocurrency out to other people like a bank would with your dollars, then they go out on the open market before Monday. They buy up some of their own tokens so that they can basically pay the rewards back to their customers. And so they basically support the price of their own token by having to buy it back off the open market.
And so the stagnation in price now, could it be explained at the moment, or?
Whales selling. So there's a lot of people who had been in Celsius for a very long time, and they've been very, very profitable from it. And so they took profits.
Fair play. The CPC with the Canadian $10 super chat, which is like 50 cents American, says, curious if blockchain domains are worth investing in. And if so, will the growth usage of this tech help grow Ethereum value measurably. Charlie?
Yeah, blockchain domains are interesting, but I haven't seen them actually be starting to be used at all yet. So still just a, who knows concept. Well, we'll see if it goes anywhere. At the moment, it doesn't look like it's gaining much traction in this bull market. So if it were to be gaining traction, now would be the time, but I still don't see people using them that much.
The second half of your question, will the growth usage of this tech help grow Ethereum value measurably? Yes. Guys, you don't understand what we're trying to tell you now. We've been saying it since 2019. Okay. We are still in the infancy of this whole cryptocurrency thing. The literal infancy.
And it's already kicking PayPal's ass.
Yep. And then I saw one more. Charlie's thoughts at SNX. He's bullish for it. Buy. Not financial advice. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. I saw it in the chat here. We'll just put this one up. I couldn't find it. It says Charlie's a blessing. That he is. He is a blessing indeed. Charlie, let's take a look at the chart for Bitcoin and take a look at what do you think is going to happen here.
Next.
Yeah, let's go. I saw something on I saw a couple charts and some people were saying that July 21st we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin. Agree, disagree?
It's possible. I won't I'm not going to hang my hat on that number right there.
Mm-hmm. What would you hang your hat on? What would you hang your Minnesota Vikings helmet on?
mid 70K Bitcoin here in the next couple of months.
Okay, I could rest with that.
Yeah, 3/4 of the way to 100,000. I can see is very, very possible. Oh, are we looking at the chart now? Okay, sweet. So yeah, just the simplest way to look at this is we've had, a few uptrends, but with the previous Bitcoin cycle, right? We started here and Bitcoin started to make a new high on day 49 of the cycle. So we had that fake out. We had a really solid pump up to the middle of the cycle, came down, made it look like it could turn into like a bearish cycle that recovered, made a new high on Bitcoin here. Now the new all-time high for Bitcoin is $61,781.83, according to Bitstamp. But anyways, we had a downtrend here. We currently have stopped that downtrend during the course. I mentioned to everybody within the course that the two areas to aim for your prices were around here at about $52,000 and down here at about $50,100. The low for Bitcoin in that time came down to about 53.60, so just a couple $100 above that target price. And then now we broke that downtrend and Bitcoin is back on the up and up. So it's above its 20-day moving average, which is the area that we want to see it start pumping and hitting that previous all-time high. Once we start seeing it break above there, it's going to go higher. And so then we start seeing, okay, what price targets are people looking for? So in terms of time though, right, we're at the very early stage of a Bitcoin new 60-day cycle. So 60-day cycle will go roughly 60 days from low to low, just like we saw in the last one, right? So if we're looking at the next 60 days, what is the middle of the cycle? The middle of the cycle.
Where would the 60 days end?
So the 60 days will end. The day 30 will be on, it looks like April 25th.
Okay.
60-day average would end around May 25th, right? Because we had the low on the 25th of March. So what we want to see in here is wherever price is around the middle, kind of like it was here, we want to see that continuing to make new highs, and then we can get a bullish cycle. We might get a bullish first half of the cycle into the end of April. Then we could get a bearish second half of the cycle. We'll see. But essentially, I would say mid 60 to 70K area seems likely within that time period. So we'll see how that all plays out in terms of time, in terms of price. If we're just say, okay, 70,000 is a target within that time, right? Maybe low 70,000, something like that, sometime between the middle of April to the beginning of May. is very likely. So that's kind of the area we aim for first, and then we see what happens along the way. So things looking good for Bitcoin. Ethereum will then follow. Ethereum here should have, if it has a good break above 2,000 and can close a weekly candle above $2,000, then it starts having resistance around 2,300, and then starts trying to push up higher as well. So, one thing which is interesting is if we kind of like look at where we've come on Bitcoin since last March, it's quite the fucking increase. And so that, the next increase here is just another part of the journey along the way. It's quite interesting. But, with how high we are compared to, where we've been in Bitcoin's history, we do got to be careful. We got to look around for potential signs of tops of the market. Right. Because there's going to be times where Bitcoin starts going sideways for a while, and maybe the altcoins do well, and maybe Ethereum does well. So that's what we might see over the summer here. But signs of like Bitcoin kind of topping, or just generally the sentiment in the market being a little too high, right? Stuff like this, where Michael Jordan starts investing in NBA Top Shots to make NFTs.
Yeah.
So be careful with that stuff.
Yeah. Do you know who Khabib Nurmagomedov is?
Is he a UFC fighter?
Yeah, he's an undefeated, the greatest lightweight in all MMA history.
Okay.
And he defeated Conor McGregor. He defended the title twice, and he recently retired due to his father passing away. The UFC had launched their own NFTs, and then Khabib actually made his announcement yesterday that he's releasing his NFT. So,
nice.
The NBA has NFTs.
The whole UFC, man, they made a deal with Top Shot as well, and there's going to be, or with the guy behind Top Shots, and so there's going to be a lot of different sports doing this. Soccer's starting to come with different, not NFTs, but different incentive structures for people to vote on what they want their teams to do in the European soccer league. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, and stuff like this, stuff like Tesla getting into Bitcoin, all that type of stuff. Right. In the last bull market, that would make us think maybe we're at the top of the market. Right. But in the current bull market, that's just the beginning. By the middle of this decade, all of cryptocurrency is going to be a geopolitical event, with the central bank digital currencies coming out and all that stuff. So you just got to, I think people just kind of have to get used to more people knowing about cryptocurrency and it becoming more popular, essentially. So I don't think we're at the top of the market yet, but we're just starting to see signs of like, okay, we're getting into the very speculative part of this bull market.
Yeah, we're actually starting to get up there in insanity. I will tell you this: I'm seeing some stuff that's like, I mean, for me, I saw a girl the other day on TikTok, and she's like, it's pretty funny. She's like, I'm not a gold digger. I'm an Ethereum and Bitcoin digger. Do you have any Ethereum and Bitcoin? I was like, yikes. She was a 6 out of 10. Like, you're getting none.
Run.
None of mine. 6 out of 10 chick. El Zorro Plateador says, $4.99 super chat. I have made so much money listening to you dudes. 6-figure gains. I joined Cultivate Crypto Mindset and learned a lot about the world of alts. Thank you. Hey, from a pair of degenerates all the way from Tokyo, Japan, thank you too for believing in us, because without you guys, we're just fucking over here losing our money on boats. Lou Piazza says, also, how do I buy Kusama? I don't see it on Gemini. Binance.us, Lou. You have to go to Binance.us. That is what you need to do in order to get your hands on it.
Yeah, and if you already have cryptocurrency and you don't want to go on a verified exchange, you can go over to KuCoin.com. Just send your cryptocurrency over there. You don't have to verify it. You can make that account within 5 minutes as well. So there's multiple ways to go and get all that stuff.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here today on the Tokyo Crypto Show. It is good to have Charlie back. It is good to be back. Nice to have things in the swing. Keep your eye on these channels. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe. Make sure you watch this video from beginning to end. As always, stay tuned, because this crypto market will be over before you know it. You're not going to want to miss out on these gains. These are life-changing gains, okay? In this bull market, you can get rich. In the next bull market, you can get wealthy. Join us as we ride our yachts into the sunset and live happily ever after. Charlie will be back live on his channel tomorrow. You can go to Cultivate Crypto. Make sure to subscribe there every day, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right after that is my show, Interview with a Man, on my YouTube channel, Modern Life Dating. I start at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. With Charlie, you can make money. With me, you can make muscles game. And together, we're going to the moon. Until then, you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out. Live long and prosper. Sayonara.